your host with the most, Jennifer, as always. Welcome back, welcome back. So, we are doing a review today. We are doing a review from our December 2019 Horror Pack DVDs in Nightmare City. This came out in 1980. It's, technically, it is an Italian, Spanish, and Mexican, movie, but it's definitely much more of an Italian. I think more of like the shooting locations. There was more like shooting locations in like Mexico / Spain, but very much more traditional sort of Italian. So I'm just kind of seeing what I kind of saw at IMDb and stuff, because I wanted to make sure, but definitely had some other influences and everything, other members involved in this and everything. And fun little fact, I don't know how much of this is true, but once again, on IMDb, I did see just real quickly on the trivia section that I guess apparently Tom Savini is trying to remake this or something like that. So, whatever, fun little fact if it is true. If not, still a cool little fact. Kind of be cool to see what he does with it. But no, this is, like I said, it is an Italian film, came in our horror pack. This is one of those early kind of like zombie movies and everything. I am honest, I'm not the biggest zombie fan or anything, but it's decent. It's decent. So basically the premise of this one is a helicopter, an airplane is, arriving or whatever at wherever location we're at or whatever at set location, and it had gone through some like radioactiveness or something, so it's all contaminated and everything, kind of lands at this airport or whatever, and we all know what ends up happening usually in zombie movies when something like this happens. People start eating each other and start like dying and coming back to life. So basically, this is the type of movie that, especially like Italian horror and stuff, like I'm not the biggest into, but I'm very much appreciative of movies like this. Like, things like this, Demons, usually one of the first ones that kind of comes to mind, at least for me, Nightmare City and stuff, where, to me, first off, like I said, zombies, usually not the biggest fan, but I'll kind of check them out. But I have noticed, too, that I do sometimes gravitate towards movies such as this, like Italian horror and stuff, especially old school Italian horror sometimes. And those even not always being, I'm not like the biggest fan of, but like I said, I have an appreciation for these type of movies for some unknown reason. I'm not even sure why, because I mean, I'm not really like the biggest fan of a lot of these movies that I see, but I kind of like what they have to offer. And usually it's within like the kills themselves and everything. Like there's a lot of going after like the boobies, which was kind of refreshing in a way, because like out here in America, even though I feel like back then, a lot of times if there was some sort of like genital or some sort of like gender specific sort of region that someone kind of gets like the axe, no pun intended, to, usually it's usually guys, and it's usually right groin. Like, look at something like Pieces that came out in the 80s, early 80s, maybe late 70s or whatever. Junk Shot, I'm just saying, there's been countless of those, but something like this, it's kind of, at least, I don't know, and it's weird, because like I said, I'm a female and everything, it should be kind of like, oh my god, but I'm like, oh, dude, like at one point, there was a zombie that was going after this woman with a very, nice set of breasts, and he literally was cutting it off. Yeah! Like, stuff like that, I'm like, oh man, that's something new. I haven't seen that before. I haven't seen that in a while. And plus, too, I kind of like that the zombies in here, I know we've had other movies kind of like this, but once again, since I'm not, like, the biggest zombie fan, I've not watched every single zombie movie, I do kind of like that these zombies were sort of still capable enough mentally to, instead of just kind of like, lumbering over and like, kind of like that, they were resourceful. They kind of knew like, okay, that guy has something that I want, which is fresh blood and meat. I'm going to take whatever readily available object and I'm going to strike him with it and hopefully be able to knock him out to then go ahead and feed off of him. Little things like that I do like about this movie. I even like other sort of movies and everything. And some of the kills, like I said, I can't stop talking about the kills. Kills were fun. You know, nothing great. I mean, it's kind of like sort of like bad acting, like what I kind of would expect from movies like this, what I've seen in other movies, like no disrespect or anything, and once again to like stuff like Demons or City of the Dead and stuff. I mean, these movies sometimes are a little cheesy, a little kind of overly acted, overly done, or it just seems like people are kind of like, oh, I got hit. Oh, things like that. I think that's why I kind of appreciate certain movies such as this, especially Italian horror, old school Italian horror like this, because yeah, like I said, not the greatest, not the best, but yeah. And would I recommend this to everyone? Probably not. Actually, probably no, I wouldn't. This is gonna be one for people who I would say are a little more adventurous, need maybe just want a little something different. Don't mind kind of watching stuff like this. That's because like once I got this in horror pick, I kind of knew like, okay, it's not gonna make my top 10 list for anything, positive or negative, but I know I'm probably gonna have some kicks with it and everything. Have some enjoyment out of it, and you know what? Honestly, I was entertained. It served its purpose. It entertained me. This is one that I'm not gonna necessarily watch all the time, but I know once in a great while I will kind of revisit this and just be like, I need a little something different. I need just something that's going to get my fix of something different other than like Jason and Michael in Sleepaway Camp. I'm just saying. And I do kind of like what they did with this movie because, it plays out. And I don't want to like spoil the end. I know this movie is now 40 years old, but I have a feeling not everyone has seen this. It's one of those a little bit more obscure, unless if you're way more, horror knowledgeable and stuff, way more adventurous and stuff. Because I mean, there's still a lot of stuff that like such as this that I had not seen until or even heard of until Horror Pack sent it to me. So I don't want to spoil the ending. But I did kind of like what they did of like, they had the movie and everything, and then we get towards the end, and then like this happens and everything. So it's kind of like a premonition, so to speak. That's all I'll kind of say. So then we start seeing other like something else sort of started playing out. And you're like, But no, I mean it's a decent little movie. Not everyone's gonna really like this movie. I'll be honest. Like I said, these are the type of movies that normally like it's weird. Like I don't hate them. Definitely don't love them. I kind of just barely like them, but I do, once again, like I said, I sometimes find myself checking some of these movies out or returning to movies like Demons that I don't really love, but I like to watch once in a while. And like I said, I think just because they did, even with all the like horrible, voice dubbing, the kind of like really bad, over the top sort of acting and everything. Not even necessarily over the top, but like I have an appreciation for it. They did some things, especially to like even in American cinema and everything. Even like some of the stuff now that we get, I feel like it's not totally original. And once again, I mean, a lot of times I know a lot of American cinema will rip off certain things and kills from like Italian cinema and stuff, because some of these people have grown up on stuff of this and is like, oh my god, like I need to get this to a wider audience, this type of kill. But yeah, so not everyone's gonna like really love these types of movies. I get that, I respect it, and that once again is coming from someone who self-admittedly not like the biggest fan of these movies, but I do like checking them out for the fun, for the entertainment. Like I said, I know I'm gonna have fun with them. And even like the makeup effects and everything are kind of so. And this is not gonna be like, I don't mean this as a bad thing, but makeup effects and stuff are really kind of like totally cheap looking. Like I feel like some little like 15-year-old horror snob, modern day horror snob, the sleeping and stupid, whatever, dude. You don't even know what to use it for. I'm just saying, But and I feel like like some people would have those like sort of remarks of, eh, it's like what? No, it's the makeup. It's gonna be one of those where you either do kind of really appreciate it, or you're gonna just absolutely think it's horrible. I think some of it it's kind of laughable. Some of it is not in a bad way. Like I'm not even trying to say like oh I laughed at it because it was so ridiculously bad. It was just like it was kind of like like okay like what kind of like effects is this gonna be? How much am I gonna kind of be laughing? Like at one point, this kind of like our main character and his like wife girlfriend whatever are trying to flee like the town and stuff and just trying to like stock up on supplies, get some gas and stuff. So the girl's in at the gas station getting some stuff and she sees through this window one of these like zombies. And no joke, the only way I can describe this zombie is he literally well first off, I think this might have been like an early they may have like used the zombie as like an early template for the Toxic Avenger because that's kind of what he looked like, but more so he literally just looked like a poo poo head. He literally looked like he had a shit head. Like that is the only way I can describe it. It literally looks like someone came up, sat like put this is gonna be a little disgusting. Literally put the guy's butt or head in their butt, pooped all over his head, and then took his head out. Literally, that's the best way I can describe it, but it's like, as cheesy as it kind of looks, you're like, that's kind of epically classic. Things like that. So this is the type of movie that is. So, but yeah, I mean, check it out. Like I said, for someone like me who, once again, you guys, I know I've said it a number of times in this video, who is not necessarily the biggest Italian horror movie fan, but I do like to kind of like watch them, and I do find myself kind of being entertained by them and everything. Not that bad. Not that bad. I'm just saying. Let me know what you guys think of Nightmare City if you have seen it. Till next time, you guys, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.